G'day! It is the miniversary of Mini Motorways Mini Metro, so that's been out for 10 years, well, I guess first one. So we're going to have a look at the new levels that have been added. So we're going to start with London. Now, because it is a brand new level, first look at it, I'm going to play it with its base colors as opposed to the way I normally play on night mode, just to sort of appreciate the color work that they've done for it. Okay, so it looks like the train is dropping off deliveries there. It's a sense that I got there that train arrived. Now, what can we do? Are we allowed to go just under rails? Alright. So, I mean, there's not that many, I guess, spots for things to be dropped off in these, like, half houses here. So, maybe that guy is just going to purely be dependent on train drops. Now, do we get this guy to this blue house that we want to connect? Maybe let's go around the long way for now. Just because I want them not to share, basically. But speaking of sharing, this, I don't think I've got any way that I can have... We're going to have to wait for the end of the week. So otherwise, yellow won't have the road tiles to... Right, I can't run along the train line. I can only cut, what, under it? No. No? Alright, I don't fully understand the... I assume I'm saying that I'm allowed to go underneath the road in between these, like, the pylons there, but those pylons would be on the road, so I can't sort of run straight under a train line. Oh, and they have to wait for the train, too. You see that with yellow? They all stopped as the train went by. Okay. Well, at least they stop. I suppose that's a good thing. It does mean that it's a... it's something that we don't want to have if we can avoid it, is trains running under train lines. Sorry, cars running under train lines. It's quite a distance we've got going for yellow at the moment. This is the first level of Mini Metro, which I assume is part of the significance of it making it to Mini Motorways. It was one of the levels that was in the vote for a level to move to Mini Motorways, and they did end up doing, I think, 6 new levels. So I've got 3 new Mini Metro levels to look at, as well as 3 new Mini Motorways ones. I also noticed that the weekly this week is also London. So I'll be coming back to London again. Alright, so with that house there, this blue house that we've just got on the left, he's now going to be the one that starts looking after the double train station. That means that we need to get the other red house, I guess, just out, so we'll do that for now. These new yellow houses we're getting are actually better suited for the for our far away yellow than the ones we had previously. So we'll definitely use the other 2 houses to go up and around. I'm curious to see what the late game problems we're going to have with this train line are. I mean, you can see the full train line now too, so you can see that it's just a little loop that it's doing there. We've got a lot of yellow houses inside the loop and no yellow houses inside, so it's going to be a potential problem that we continue to see here. That all the yellow is going to have to be at the mercy of trains going by. Now, luckily, the trains don't take that long to go by, and there's no such thing as a crash in this game. So I think after playing the Conduct Deluxe, I'm very sort of edgy about trains crossing over, or anything crossing over a train line. What was the other one? urban flow as well is a similar thing. So it's very nice and refreshing to have a train that the passengers will just common sense stop for. Well, that's the rude drop you've just done to me there. Oh no, of course he's got to go that way. Okay, so at least we've got a red fix nice and easy. Got enough bridges that green can have its own thing going on. So we will keep them separate for now. And actually what I want to do is let's go him around the other way, just because I want to leave that extra space available for red, just in case they get more houses. We want to allow them to get in that sort of like closer to the existing red house. Red is very underhoused at the moment. We have 3 destinations and we have 4 houses. Interesting piece of music, this one that we've got. It's like sploshing along in puddles. So take the bridge because we've got none. I'm going to put a roundabout here. And we'll get rid of... I mean, I probably should build the replacement road first. Do that. Because they're circular. And because they're... Oh. Alright, well... Counter argument for who thinks needs the motorway. But the one thing that light blue does have going for it is it's currently not circular. At least it's got 4 houses. Already as many houses as what red has. And because it's sort of slow going, getting those dots showing up, you can see it's actually nicely pacing its blue cars leaving. So there's still 3 blue cars just sitting at home. So it's not like it's a huge chunk of everyone going at once and then there being this huge gap at the back. So see how it goes. I won't give it the motorway just yet, but definitely a candidate for a motorway up there. It's another green. I may as well get him attached. Well, that's a nice, easy yellow to take care of. I notice he's dropping 2 people now as well. Well, that blue's sort of in a weird spot for getting use. I've got enough road tiles that I'm gonna just like let him roll all the way around there. I mean, you can see he's actually getting used, so I guess just to help that guy get some backup, it's there. And we've just hit the 300 trips achievement, the first of the achievements for this level. If you could hear that sound announce, which I guess is a new thing that now achievements make a little declaration sound. I've still got 2 bridges, so we'll bring in another roundabout. Okay, so because it seems like these train houses are just so, like, train destinations are so slow at, like, sort of having any sort of demand. I feel like just an extension to green like that is going to be enough. Like, it's just one pickup, and then they go back to ignoring that piece of road. It's just kind of a waste of a bridge, I suppose. I would like to see this light blue in the bottom left get more friends, though. I do realize as well I'm playing this with a white mouse and a white background, so I should get better at describing what I'm looking at, because it's not going to be clear if I'm trying to find this mouse. Okay. Well, that yellow guy down the bottom middle here. At least answered the question of how am I going to solve this yellow guy in the bottom right relatively easily. This yellow community we're getting in the top left, I mean, they're sort of designing themselves in a way that they all sort of focus in. So they're a potential motorway location. This guy in the bottom right, it's yellow down bottom right, he needs more help. He can't cope with the one house. At least green we've got an easy answer for. So we'll run these two green guys down there, but we're going to have to quickly fling these guys down there just to help out yellow until we actually solve that problem. I mean, green is just full of answers for how to solve his problem down the bottom, but got one bridge, and I feel like, okay, so we turn these extra blues that we've gotten in the left, they answer the question of what should we do for this blue in the top left, and because he now exists, we can actually get rid of this entire road down to these blues in the bottom right. These blues in the bottom right, we can turn around and then run them across, and they now look after this blue down here. You can then take the road and just skip around blue, so blue's left alone, and that yellow can still be part of that connection. We don't have a bridge at the moment. If we had a bridge, I would just get this green in the bottom left to connect to the green train station. Now, red in the top right needs some help too. So we'll turn around a second of the red in the middle, and I potentially could turn around third. What we'll do is we'll wait for that guy to arrive. In fact, we'll wait for him to do his delivery, and then we'll just do a manual taken care of. And get all three reds to go clean up the mess that's going on with red in the top right. Because we know that no one's going to come back to need a delivery of this red until the train arrives right now. And even then, it's only 2. I mean, you can see this worst case scenario for green in the bottom is 4. Like, 4 is the most thing that this can get. So a house as close as, say, this green one, bottom right. And I also realized that when I was needing a bridge, I was going to get a bridge as soon as I got rid of that green extension too. That you can see, for example, the yellow train station has 4 jobs, and I assume the only way it would start to sort of freak out that it needs more help would be if the train delivered more than that, which would be when it comes around the second time. But this house can take care of 4. Just one house can take care of those 4 jobs faster than the train makes its loop. So you only really need one house on those, as long as they're close enough. We're getting a blue neighborhood in this bottom left. We're getting a yellow neighborhood in the bottom right, but I think that means that we can potentially get rid of this. I think we can get rid of that long motorway, because those 4 yellows in the bottom can now take care of him. Okay, but what we now need is reds for the top. So what I think that we want to do is turn the greens around. And then they can do that. Get rid of that. And then we can turn these reds around. They can run up here. Him. And then run up here. Very weird little layout, but it'll work. Now, speaking of... Well, not really speaking of layouts. This blue in the top left has a problem too. He needs more support. Two houses isn't cutting it for him. In fact, what I think we should do, and I think this makes complete sense for dealing with any of these train line destinations, is that we should just allow them to share. Like if we say we did that, for example, and there we go, 1,000 trips. If we do that, then what it means is that the extra 2 blue trains that have only been focused on helping out the rail system can now help out with the guy that actually needs attention. Okay, well, I've got to address this green guy down here. I suppose what we can do just real quick is just connect him to that. And then these guys can come down and help. Well, that's an easy fix. And light blue in the bottom left. Now, green, I don't like what I've done. I've got 2 motorways though. Let's use a motorway. So if we go 1, 2, 3 there, and then we turn these 2 guys up and go like that. And then firstly, I'm going to get rid of that connection. There's guys already on their way, and that's fine. They can continue their journey. And I guess it's enough guys to clean that up, but then otherwise it's those guys, these 5 houses on the top that we can use to help them out. I also noticed that yellow in the bottom right's gone circular, so he's going to be a problem. We have so many yellow houses for so few yellow destinations. But I mean, ultimately, achievements-wise, all we have to do is make it to 2,000 here. So we're well over halfway. We just need to help this yellow guy out up here. Again, what we can do is we can just suddenly request the assistance of a neighborhood that's not being used. I mean, they've already sort of like sorted out their mess as is. You can see that there's yellow houses still sitting in this central section that aren't being used, so not really a major emergency. Alright, this blue guy in the top center going circular is a problem. Hopefully what we're now going to see is actually some substance to our blue housing, which we currently have none. Okay, so yellow down the bottom is sort of cleaned up. Good, we got another motorway. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 yellow houses, they're not yellow, those 2 blue houses, and get them to jump up the top to help out. You can see that no one has addressed the issues with this station, so we're about to see what happens when you have a station start to overflow. Oh, it actually does have a second row. Alright, so this blue in the bottom at left, we can get him there, and what we can also do is we can clean or adjust that yellow line again. Get them working around the other way to sort him out. Now, a problem that we have up here, and I'm going to address it now, is we are going to get rid of the connection between the blue train station and the blue house, is that these guys aren't addressing the train station. We need someone addressing the train station, because this train station is going to otherwise overload. But this guy's also freaking out. We've got another motorway, so let's just dump the largest group of guys that we've got just onto that to quickly help out. Let's just turn these dark blues around so they can skip over the top of this guy, and then we'll just connect this guy, this light blue down the bottom. These two yellow houses that we've got connected there don't really need to be connected. And because of that, we can cut these other yellows a little bit lower and get dark blue to go and also help out with that train station that for some reason is losing its mind. And dark blue at the top is finally getting under control. We also have a third blue house down here that we can use to help out. Bridge. Still using our bridges. There is another red house down here. So I feel like what we also should be doing is making a slight change on the layout of what we've got going on in the central part. There's no reason that these two guys need to be sharing a road. If we say cut red to face down, we can just turn them up like that. They're clear. It just means that these two dark blues here have been disconnected. And that's okay. What we can do is we can run them straight up and then run that straight up. This yellow down here is freaking out again. So let's disconnect those our secondary assistance to them. We do have the other option as well that we take these four houses, we can connect them into that as well. Now I possibly want to get, if that motorway comes back to me quick enough, I'll definitely also just send a bunch of ring-in yellows to help out. Although it looks like they're flowing through fast enough here that we don't need the help. They're okay. This one yellow house looking after that train station has done wondrous work. But there we go, 2,000. So we've hit our at least achievement objectives. But now what we've got to do is see how much further we can take it. I'm going to make that little lip out there just so that I can keep these 8 guys as a motorway on-call system. Okay, now what we also want to do is we want to stop the blues from having to share down here. Generally, you don't want anyone sharing with a circular destination. So let's get those light blues in the bottom right. Looking after that guy in the bottom middle. Good. Always nice to see more dark blues coming in. I mean, as soon as those dark blues finish their job, I like them being on this side of the this train station, because it means as soon as they've finished their work, they've cleared them out, then they can all just focus on helping out that freaking out destination at the top, even though it doesn't last very long. Like, you can see that suddenly they're back on call and working away. Okay, so what well, that's going to be a problem. Another dark blue needing attention. So what we want to do first is we're going to turn these 3 guys around, and they're going to go straight down. And then going to drop that out, and I don't have a bridge. So what we'll do is we'll turn this around again. So we'll get rid of that. We'll turn these 3 guys up. No, how do we get rid of these guys? They're sort of in the way. So maybe we'll just turn all them that way. We will leave that where it is. What I want to do is I want to move these 3 guys to help out with this guy at the top. He's got 4 houses there, so we're going to pull all of that out. And then going to put a motorway there. Well, there we go. So there's a 5th blue house. So that guy's pretty flush. I can't really see how this guy here is going. It looks bad. So let's try and move that across that way. See if that helps him out a bit. Unsurprisingly, yellow isn't too stoked about having half of its, well, its closest 3 houses just pulled away from it. We've got another motorway, so what we'll do is we will... Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that motorway north. I think that there's so much traffic for yellow that we're better off just sort of annoying the green guys a little bit. This guy needs a little bit of help too. We do have another motorway, so what we can do is he can... Well, what I can do is delete that little piece of road and then put this guy here. And then we'll send those guys over to help him out too. This blue is a mess up here, and that's the danger of having them go two different roads in. Come on guys, get in there, sort out your stuff. At least we got the 3,000. That's I think the train line actually is also what's causing these guys some absolute grief. Alright. I need to get rid of the train line out of the mix for them, or change the way that it connects. I can't see the way we do it. This guy has so much help down here. Okay, I think what we want to do is get rid of that road. What we're going to do then is turn these guys all in this way. And it's going to be these guys that take care of that guy. Now the problem is I don't have that extra motorway. We can pull those two motorways up, so hopefully we get one sooner, because you can see again that is just a traffic jam of a problem. I need a second setup currently in place just to sort of temporarily keep them alive. So we're just going to put that back in, so in case anyone wants to take the road, get up there while we're waiting for... Good, that's gone, so there we go, so they can push. Alright. So it means that they should no longer be at the mercy of the train. We need this green guy to be helping him out a bit more too, but we've got a few extra greens that are just sort of laying about, doing nothing. But this yellow is just perpetually unhappy. That yellow needs more help. Guess we'll just put back in both of our motorways. These guys are getting stuck at that roundabout too. I mean, there's some sort of efficiency going to it, but in another sense, it's killing it slowly. This yellow here's not coping with just 3 houses. Let's grab 2 guys off that one. Just run them across there to help out. I think that yellow's just currently in a surge. It's causing that. It's a shame I can't get these 3 yellows. Oh no, those blues actually do have a job, don't they? Well, yellows everywhere are unhappy with the current situation. Who's that? It's this guy here. I mean, there's so much traffic, you can never really feel like you're going to have a good chance on a destination that's got two, like a circular destination and a shared one. So, what do we get to? We broke 4,000, so we'll take that as a victory. On this release day of this map, oh look, we unlocked Mumbai. Release day of this map, let's have a look at where we're sitting on the rankings. Let's take it. Come and get me. I mean, it won't be long, but I'll enjoy it while it's there. I think it's the first time I've seen myself on top of the list. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later.